Hey, Mark Savage here for Savage on Wheels. I'm going to talk about electric cars today because we have a Volvo XC40 Recharge, which is the electric version of the XC40, which is a nice little compact sport utility. And you know, it used to be maybe 2 or 3 years ago that was just Tesla if you wanted an electric. Now there's a whole lot more. This is one of them. Now what happens with the electrics a lot of times is they don't need a lot of cooling in through the nose here other than to get underneath to get to the batteries. So they give you kind of a solid nose here. Of course, what do we have, Paul?
Big logo.
Big logo, you know, Volvo.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Then here, come around here, I'm going to show you something. You know, a lot of times gas cap could be here, right? Well, that's where we plug it in. That's fine, you'd think, but maybe what happens is in the back they would have a little compartment for the plug. Not so. What do we have? Ding, ding, ding. They gotta let you know you're opening that because you could be driving down the highway and rip your hood off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, the lawyers don't want you doing that. Okay. Oh, well, that looks nice, right? Okay. Big compartment up front. This is your frunk. That's another new thing that all electrics seem to have, as a frunk, because you don't have an engine here anymore. You've got your electric motors down below. Here's their big plug. It does wind up conveniently in here. In my mind, I'd rather have it in the back if that's where my plug is.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a ride in this thing now, and you know, it rides nice as far as it's a small SUV, so it's a little bit choppy, but it's got good handling and plenty of power. All right, so we got again, it says it's a 12-inch screen. It looks like about a 10-inch screen to me, but we got a whole lot of surround here. Got some kind of funky air vents in the Volvo, but that's a Volvo thing. When you get into the electric vehicle, if you got the key in your pocket, it's automatically on, which is very much like a Tesla. Push it forward, we're going to go in reverse. Pull it back, we're going to go forward. As soon as you do that, you're ready to rock and roll. It starts lighting up all your equipment and stuff here. We got a map going up. And, you know, it's a nice interior. This is a special material called nubuck. I'm not sure what that means, other than I think it's like Naugahyde used to be when we were kids, Paul. But it's a fake leather that they say is vegan leather. I don't know. I'm not eating it, so I don't know.
It's not vegan if it's...
yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that.
Harman Kardon stereo, that's nice. You know, it is a touch screen that we got going here. We can punch the button. We can get the map up. We can touch the button and we can call up our radio. And then it's pretty easy to just slide through here and find what station you want to get to. So, and then there's also the range button. I got about 110 miles of range left now, about 48%. When I've charged this up, I'm getting about 2 miles of charge, or 2% of charge per hour, which roughly is 2 to 4 miles of range. I told Paul as we were getting into the car here earlier that I charged this up at a charge point, thinking, oh, that's probably going to be a little quicker than my garage. Well, apparently not, because I got 2% of charge in a 15-minute charge. Luckily, it only would cost a quarter to do that, so I guess that's all right. But you think an hour, that would get me 8% charge, which might get me 16 miles. So, just some practical points. This has a 223-mile range, which is about 15 miles more than last year's model. And that's a little short of like the Mustang Mach-E that we drove, Paul. I think that was like 250 or so. And of course, most of the Teslas are over 300 miles per range. And so I guess I'd just say this is a little bit short on range, but if it's an around town car and you know, you feel like you can charge it every night, or you got a 240 charger in the garage. Now, what I like, I drove the gasoline-powered version of the XC40 about 3 or 4 years ago. What I like about it, handles really nice. It's very precise steering. It feels very sporty, and with the extra added weight of some batteries and electric motors underneath, very good balance in the car. so you don't feel like you're gonna, you go around the turns pretty quickly. You don't feel like there's a lot of lean in it, and again, it's a sportier feel, lower center of gravity. Great power. We got 402 horsepower in this thing, Paul, and I think the torque rating is like 485. So it'll get up and go, which is what most electrics do, and we'll show you that in just a minute. But so it's got all that going for it. Now we're on particularly smooth kind of suburban roads right now, but what I've noticed is in the city this gets a little choppy because it's a shorter wheelbase, about 106-inch wheelbase. That's usually about where the wheelbase gets to the point where it's a really smooth, nicer ride. This one is not bad, but it is a little choppier than I would think I would want for it.
Yep.
So we're gonna go blast onto the highway here in our electric vehicle and see just how powerful it is. According to Car and Driver, this will do 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. That's very respectable for any kind of sporty utility and not any just sports car. So we're gonna give that a shot. Again, I think we mentioned 402 horsepower, torque rating of 485, and we'll just see what it does here. And you may notice that we slow down rather suddenly there. Here, I'm going to give it all it's got. It goes, Paul.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to get up to the big truck here. I'm going to have to slow down, otherwise we're going to have trouble with a big garbage truck. But 90-some mile an hour on an entry ramp, and of course smooth as silk because it's electric.
Right.
But this has the one pedal control, so you just have an accelerator. You have a brake pedal down here, so if in an emergency I can slam them on the brake. But when you take your foot off the gas pedal of the accelerator, boom, it slows you way down in a hurry, kind of like a golf cart, kind of like on the snowmobiles that I used to drive. You get off the gas, it really slows you down. So you learn to drive with it. I've driven a Tesla recently, and it is less severe on that slowdown, but still very noticeable. So I would say this one could probably be smoothed out a little bit. But other than that, you're going to use less braking because your electric motors are doing the braking for you, because they're immediately stopping basically as soon as your foot's off the gas, the accelerator. Don't call the gas pedal anymore.
Okay.
So the Volvo XC40, nice, small, or compact SUV. This is the recharge version, electric, and it's just you have a little limitation here because you don't, get more than 220, 230 miles of range on it. But this one starts at almost $59,000 and a little bit of change on top of that with your delivery fee. This has everything on it, so that's really the top of the line. 56, 3 or 4, and so that's for the base model. It's a base model. I guess my only concern here is, while a nice luxurious small SUV, a lot of the others out there have a little more range to them right now. So shop around, know what you want. If you're a Volvo file, obviously this